Welcome back to ChapterCast, your audio study companion for mastering psychology, one chapter at a time. In this episode, we're diving into Chapter 2, The Biology of Mind from Exploring Psychology by David G. Myers. This chapter is all about how your brain, body, and behavior are connected. If you've ever wondered how a single thought turns into an action, or how a mood shift happens chemically, this is where the science begins. Let's make it simple, relatable, and meaningful. Biological psychology, also called neuroscience, is the study of the link between biology and behavior. Think of how your heart races before a big presentation. That's your biology responding to your thoughts, or how smelling your favorite food makes your mouth water. That's your nervous system kicking in. Biological psychologists study how our brain structure, neurotransmitters, and hormones influence everything from emotions to decision-making. The nervous system is made of neurons, tiny but powerful messengers. Every thought, memory, and movement depends on these cells. Each neuron has dendrites that receive messages, axons that send messages, and a myelin sheath, a fatty layer that speeds up message delivery. Think of a neuron like a phone. The dendrite is the speaker, the axon is the wire, and the myelin is the insulation that speeds up the call. Messages travel down the axon as an electrical signal, then jump the gap, known as the synapse, between neurons using neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters are chemical messengers that affect everything from mood to muscle movement. Some key players include dopamine, which is linked to movement and pleasure. For example, low dopamine is related to Parkinson's disease, while too much is linked to schizophrenia. Serotonin affects mood, hunger, and sleep. Many antidepressants work by increasing serotonin levels. Acetylcholine, or ACH, is involved in learning and memory, and endorphins are the body's natural painkillers. Ever heard of a runner's high? That's endorphins at work. The nervous system has two main parts: the central nervous system, CNS, which includes the brain and spinal cord, your decision maker, and the peripheral nervous system, PNS, which connects the CNS to the body. The PNS breaks down further into the somatic nervous system, which controls voluntary movement, like raising your hand, and the autonomic nervous system, which controls involuntary functions like heartbeat and digestion. The autonomic system has two branches: the sympathetic system, responsible for fight or flight responses, and the parasympathetic system, responsible for rest and digest functions. You hear a loud bang and your heart races. That's the sympathetic system. Then you realize it was just fireworks and calm down. That's the parasympathetic system. The brain has specialized parts: brainstem survival functions like heartbeat and breathing, cerebellum balance and coordination. For example, it helps you shoot a basketball or play an instrument. Next, we have the limbic system, which is key for emotion and memory. The amygdala is linked to fear and aggression. The hippocampus helps form new memories. And the hypothalamus controls hunger, thirst, body temperature, and hormones. Then, we have the cerebral cortex, often called the brain's thinking crown. The cerebral cortex is divided into 4 lobes. Frontal lobe is for planning, judgment, and movement. For example, it helps you make decisions like when to speak up. The parietal lobe senses touch and body position. The occipital lobe processes visual information, and the temporal lobe handles hearing and language processing. These lobes work together to help you function, think, feel, and respond to your world. Neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to adapt and rewire after damage or learning. For example, after a stroke, people may regain speech or motor skills by training other parts of the brain to take over. Also important is the endocrine system, your slower messaging system made up of glands that release hormones. The pituitary gland is known as the master gland. Adrenal glands release adrenaline in emergencies. The thyroid affects metabolism. Hormones work with the nervous system to help you survive and adapt. Understanding the biology of the mind helps us make sense of everyday experiences, from why stress affects sleep to how medications work. Whether you're learning psychology to become a professional or to better understand yourself and others, these biological building blocks are essential. Found this chapter helpful? Subscribe to ChapterCast for weekly chapter-based summaries in psychology, behavior analysis, biology, and more. Whether you're driving, working out, or cleaning the house, turn everyday moments into study time. Comment below with your next chapter request. Share this with a classmate or fellow learner. This is ChapterCast. Listen, learn, retain.